Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a blessed week. Mine's going really good. We've only got about, maybe two and a half weeks of winter left. I'm looking forward to spring. So listen, there's been a couple of things in the news that just totally irritated me, and I wanted to talk about it for just a second. Number one, this thing where New York is proposing giving every immigrant $10,000. $10,000 of our tax money going to each and every immigrant in New York. These people are so crazy. I guess they just don't care about spending our money. And the bad part is, in New York, we've got homeless veterans living on the streets in wheelchairs, and they don't give them anything. The next one is the Red Cross, and this is kind of cool. The Red Cross has stopped taking jabbed blood. In other words, when you go in to give blood at the Red Cross, they're asking you if you're jabbed or not, and if you are jabbed, they don't want your blood. Doesn't that seem kind of suspicious? And the airlines are now advertising for non-jab pilots. And the Air Force is asking all the pilots that got out instead of getting the jab, they're asking them to all come back now. It seems like they can no longer pass the flight physicals because they have heart flutters and heart issues. And the next one is, I just heard this the other day and I thought that is so crazy. You know that all the domestic flights in America, the ones that go almost all the way across the country or all the way across the country that are full of fuel when they take off, well, almost all those flights have air marshals. They have armed air marshals that just fly back and forth across the country all day. And they do that so that plane can't be hijacked and taken overseas. Well, it seems that all the air marshals have been pulled off the airplanes, and now they're down there on the southern border making sandwiches and distributing sandwiches and diapers to all the immigrants coming across, and they're helping to process them in. Yeah, that's more important. So anyway, on the border also, we've gotten a lot of Chinese men in their 20s coming across the southern border now. How the heck do you get from China to Mexico to come across the border? I mean, I don't care what anybody says. I think we're being infiltrated by the Chinese army, and it's not going to turn out good. Venezuela got caught again last week emptying more prisons, and they just empty out these prisons, bring all those people up to our southern border and just let them come across right into America. And Venezuela has some of the worst gangs on the earth. So you ever wonder, why is our border open anyway? Why are they doing this? And they're doing it on purpose. Biden and the entire Democratic Party. Why are they doing this? Well, I came up with a couple of reasons that I wanted to bump off you guys. Number one, they're hoping that all these immigrants, they're trying to give them all the right to vote. The minute you get here, you get the right to vote. So they're trying to give them all the right to vote, and they're hoping that, there's already, 3-4 million of them? Well, they're hoping that they're going to vote for Biden and the Democrats because that's who let them come into this country. You know, I think that might work for 1 or 2 elections, but then it's going to turn around on them because these people are fleeing socialist regimes, and they know the dangers of that. And I also believe that when it comes time for the election, Biden's not running. They're getting rid of Biden. His approval rating is running something like 10%. And I think we're either going to see Michelle Obama run or California's Governor Gavin Newsom. And guys, this guy Gavin Newsom, he is a communist if there ever was one. He has ruined this state. So another reason they're letting all these workers come across the southern border is they want cheap labor. Cheap labor. Right now, Americans no longer want to work. This Gen Z, we have right now millions upon millions of men who are in their 20s and early 30s that are unemployed and they're not seeking work. They don't want to work. So I think they're allowing all these people across our southern border for cheap labor. And this one is the scariest of all, and I believe it's also true. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. You know that on the southern border right now, I've seen a lot of documentaries on this, and it's no longer families. There's a few women and children mixed in, but you know what? Mostly it's young men in their 20s and 30s. And I believe what they're going to do is they're going to offer these men citizenship in exchange for military service. Why would they do that? Why would you offer these men citizenship in exchange for military service? And this is the only reason I can think of why they would do it. Because these people from other countries, they will have no problems firing on American citizens. Where our own soldiers, people that are American born and raised here, they're not going to shoot on the civilian population because that's their mom, dad, brothers, and sisters. They're not going to do it. But these people coming from these other countries, they will have no problem firing on American citizens. And I think that's one of the key issues. This is something else that I look for. Out of all these people that they've let in, and we know that they're letting in young men from China that are most likely Chinese military, all the people that have come across from the Middle East, just Islamic men, they've let hundreds of thousands of men. People, listen, I look for a coordinated, major terrorist attack. Coordinated, different things going off all across the country. And I believe this could possibly bring about martial law, and we may not even have an election. But I look for something like that to happen this year. Hopefully I'm wrong. This is what it says in Psalms 34:19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers them out of them all. People, listen, we're in big trouble. America is in big trouble, and it's all self-inflicted. It is all happening on purpose by this government that we have in charge right now. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's all meant to happen. It's all going exactly according to plan, and God's in control. God is in control. And that's all you need to remember. You know, if you're saved, you have a very bright future. The Lord Jesus is going to return, and He's going to snatch us all up and take us away to be with Him forever. If you're not saved, you are in for a rocky road ahead. I mean, number one, when all the Christians are out of here, you're going to have to go through the 7-year tribulation, and there's almost no chance you're going to survive that. And then you're going to wind up in hell. In these times right now, it is more important than ever. You need to put your faith and trust in the Lord Jesus Christ. If you do that, not only will your life improve vastly here, but you will spend eternity in heaven instead of the lake of fire. It's a no-brainer. Anyway, heaven or hell you choose, just remember, once you take your last breath, it's a done deal.